This episode of Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. To get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code SOUTHGATE. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
This is Luca Parrish, and you are listening to the Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks Podcast.
Hey, what about our Comic Capers podcast?
What about us?
What about it? It's been on hiatus for a month, but we're back with Lilith's pick for episode 69.
Kind of fitting. It's kind of a menage a trois, a thruple, if you will.
Just come out and say it already. They should. Anyway, I am Phil. That is Lil.
No, we aren't the Rugrats, but it might be coming.
Close enough, yes. So yes, Lilith forced me into this 69, and yes, we're reading Life with Archie, 36 and 37.
Yeah, so if Philip does not title this episode Philip Reads and Archie, he's going to get beat up on his birthday. It's fine.
Yeah, because that's going to show up in the search.
It might. Archie, that's all you need. You're fine. Sometimes aesthetics are worth taking a hit in the search. That's all I'm saying. Sometimes it's worth it.
Or maybe I can subtitle it. I'll do both.
Anyway, enough business chat. So these two issues actually cover the death of Archie. So rebooted Archie is fun. Let's just get that straight. Yeah, Archie had a total reboot in 2015. It's fine. It's what Riverdale's kind of sort of loosely based on. We know that's all a mess, but a fun mess. It's okay. How'd you feel about this book, Philip? Were you lost? Was it...
No, I haven't read a lot of Archie, but I kind of know the players, so I wasn't completely lost, but I can't tell you the last time I read an Archie was.
So, Life with Archie spins out of basically they wanted to have their cake and eat it too. You get if you are Team Betty, if you're Team Betty and Archie, they have a book for you. If you're Team Betty and Veronica, they have a book for you. It's like these alternate reality kind of timelines. Now, some of the stuff crosses over, some of it doesn't. What does cross over is the death of Archie. And it's pretty much the culmination of these two books is what they were working towards. So that's kind of the backstory.
All right, for a complete novice, basically, like myself, tell me, I think I kind of get it, but why can't they ever say whether he winds up with Betty or Veronica?
Marketing? It's the same reason, I'll put it to you this way, the same reason why Green Arrow had to end up with Felicity and not a canary. That's what the fan base wanted, and you just can't pick sides in the Betty and Veronica kind of Archie thing. You just can't.
Is it like being a business owner, and the reason you shouldn't talk about politics is because you're gonna anger 50% of your base, no matter which way you swing?
Exactly. That's exactly right, Philip. And also, it's kind of like the cheeky fun, the will or they won't they, but times two.
And I know you were joking.
The Ross and Rachel situation.
Either make it the throuple, or just have them end up with neither of them.
Like I said, it's the Felicity thing.
You
can't have them end up with Laura or Sarah. There's Felicity. Come on, Cheryl Blossom, where you at? I'm Team Cheryl Blossom. Don't judge me.
I could see
redheads belong together.
I could see the throuple just because, Betty and Veronica saying, oh, well, you're my best friend, and, we were both in love with the same man, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it's kind of that Ally McBeal vibe thing, season 1 Ally McBeal. I know we're dating ourselves. It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. No. I kind of like the death of Archie storyline a lot, because it kind of brings Kevin into focus. I really liked when they introduced Kevin. He's basically Reggie for the LGBTQ community, since they don't focus on Jughead being ace like they used to. So it's there's that.
True.
And also that he was like a, Army veteran and he had PTSD. Like, it's like, I like that kind of like little flavor that they threw in there about Kevin. So, yeah. So how did you feel about this?
Like I said, I mean, for what it was, I mean, it was a cute little story, but I mean, would I read it? I don't know if I would read Archie every month. I mean, it's not my genre really. It's like, unless it's like people in costumes beating the crap out of each other, I'm just
Well,
like,
they have that. It's just not the main Archie books. They do have that in the Archie verse though.
oh, I mean, maybe we could give that a try one day.
I don't know. It's something about Archie comics for me, especially after the reboot. I thought I would hate it because it's kind of this thing about like how Archie was always the same. It's just kind of like the eternal teenager of the 50s. It's very simple, very straightforward. It was just kind of like you knew what you were gonna get. You know what I mean with Archie when you don't want to think too much.
Oh yeah.
Archie.
I mean, it's kind of like the problem we have with Marvel and DC. It's like, they can only let them grow a certain amount. And it's even like The Simpsons. It's like, well, how many decades are you going to let this kid not age? I mean, I kind of appreciate, I guess, what they were trying to do with this story and the other stories, where they do, wasn't there one where they're the alternate timeline where there was one where he was with Betty, and then there was they showed with Veronica.
Yeah. So. You had to kind of like when you were reading both. It was kind of like I was reading it issue to issue at the time when it came out. I thought it was really neat how the timelines kind of converged and how they were different and what made it different. Mm-hmm. It was just a really unique kind of like alternate reality timeline fiddling kind of thing, and they kind of took you could tell that they had like the red string and the cork board, and they knew what they wanted to do with it, and I just really appreciated it. So. Definitely a love letter to anybody, whether you're Team Archie or Team Veronica or Team Betty. There was something in here for you, regardless. So,
I just don't understand. Well, I'm sure you'll point out the differences to me, but I just don't understand how you say you don't like Captain America for the most part. But it's like, but Archie just seems like Mr. Hey, I always do the right thing, at least in this story.
Well, in this story, yes, but like Archie's kind of a dense dolt, and he's a lovable dense dolt, right? He's like, "What? You guys both want to be with me? You want me to choose what?" And what I think I like the most about this is that they had in one timeline where he pursued his music career. He got a little bit famous, and he became washed up, and then he came back to Riverdale to be a teacher, right? Yeah. So, it's like, okay, like, you kind of want to root for Archie. Yeah, he pursued his music, and then in the other timeline, he did something different, and, that's why I like the death of it. It was just like there was the whole culmination of the story. It's like, okay, we got to wrap this up. We're pissing off everybody. We got to wrap this up.
I was going to say, nobody reading Archie comics I'm sure has ever been in the situation. Wait, what? I'm in high school and 2 hot chicks are into me? No. How do I choose?
I can't relate. I know, I can't relate. Especially if you're a redhead. But like I said, Archie's that lovable dolt. And he does he's like, in his cluelessness, he hurts people, but not on purpose, plus they're teenagers, and teenagers make bad decisions. It's fine. It's part of growing up. And I don't know, it's just, but like that 215 reboot, it gave it a little more depth and a little more pathos and a little more relatability. And I'm just like, and when Riverdale came out, I was so like, oh yay, I can talk about Archie with the youths. But yeah, no. Yeah, no. They're focusing on all the wrong parts of Archie.
I was gonna say, I don't watch Riverdale, so is it that much different?
Even from the 215 reboot, it's super different. It is a genre mess. And it's a beautiful train wreck, but I had to look away. I haven't really watched consistently since like the first half of season 1, where they were like doing the murder mystery thing. And then every season they have like a musical. So if you're into that, check those out, I guess. But I don't know.
So is it like the CW version of Archie as Arrow is like the CW version of Green Arrow?
Very much so, but on steroids.
Whoa.
It's like Gossip Girl meets Veronica Mars meets Red Shoe Diaries. I don't know. I don't know. That's a really old reference too. I'm sorry.
Jeez, Grandma.
I know. I feel like Charlie. I've been binging like old people TV.
Back in my day, my softcore porn.
Back in my day, how we met Mulder Scully, it wasn't damn X-Files, okay? Or Californication.
I was watching Red Shoe Diaries through the squiggly lines.
Wiggling those rabbit ears, yeah. Yeah, right. Never. Cable all the way every day. But I enjoyed this storyline a lot. It's just something about it. Like, I like to see them grown up. It's kind of like some of my favorite like Flintstone stuff is like when we get to see Pebbles and Bam Bam all grown up in the future, or those special flash forward episodes of The Simpsons. It's like you get to see your favorite characters grown up as adults, and maybe they hint on something that you always wish for them to do, when they became an adult.
Yeah. I mean, it's actually interesting that, I mean, I know they would do different storylines after this, but that they actually gave him kind of a definitive ending.
Yeah, exactly. But not really. But if you wanted to stop reading Archie at that point, I think it was a great definitive ending.
Yes.
I thought the artwork was very Archie.
Yes.
I'm not like this is the thing about Archie comics. Like, I'm not a fan of old school Archie. I'm not really a fan of like the art style per se, but the coloring and the letterers like do work overtime just because it's such a simplistic style. But with this one, they had a lot more shading and things like that, and it made it a lot more interesting. So I did like the artwork. It wasn't like super simplified Archie style, and I appreciated that too.
Yeah, no, I think it was good for, what it is and like what genre it is. I mean, I think it worked for it very well.
Exactly. And then I love that they gave everybody kind of something to do. They even gave Moose something to do. We kind of overlooked Moose and Ethel a lot. So that's something that Charlie Ussher could appreciate. The Moose gets a really big thing going on in this storyline as well.
Mm-hmm.
He's very Hulk-esque in his strongman shenanigans. I'll just throw that out there. Something I was just like, okay. Okay, sure.
Oh, but I was just like, okay, I get it. But it's like, even at Archie's funeral, it's like you can't show who the grieving widow is. It's basically both of them.
Gotta play it up. It's like the pregnancy game on TV. Here's a plant. Here's some grocery bags.
I was just like, okay, you're really playing in that throuple because it's like they both seem like the grieving widow. It's just like, oh my lord. I
mean, now that Scott, Jean, and Logan have done it, I think this might be the new direction if they ever want to do like a Archie grown up storyline. It's like, yeah, they're probably going to be a throuple. Honestly, Gossip Girl is very much in the vein. Well, the books specifically are very Archie and Betty and Veronica kind of thing, and they end up choosing each other and forgetting about Nate. So I honestly that would be the ending that I would like for Betty and Veronica. Like, I love when Betty and Veronica get their own spin-off books. They spend all that time together, like their little girl gang, biker gang. I love that story, that whole comic book thing. So like, I really feel like in the end, neither one of them should end up with Archie, and they just let their the power of girl friendship like override all that. And I really feel like the guy that's running the book right now, he might be leaning towards that, and I'm okay with that. I think it's about to be 2020. I don't think that girls should be fighting over boys in any medium. I think it's run its course. And if he does end up with somebody, I'm telling you, it needs to be Cheryl Blossom. That's all I'm saying.
Betty and Veronica are going to figure out they don't need Archie.
Exactly. That's my point. Yes. I'm down for that too, to be honest. Just like I said, Archie and Cheryl belong together. Secretly, in your heart that that's what's supposed to happen. Two gingers making sweet, sweet ginger babies for all of eternity.
Well, it's all that whole Betty and Veronica thing.
Exactly. Just saying. Gingers belong together. But no, I enjoyed the adult themes, the look into the possible maybe future. It was even funny moments, sad moments. It's just it's that nice sweet spot of hitting all the emotional range for the characters that I grew up loving. So it's just like, oh.
And just like the whole thing about, old people not, knowing about new technology. These fancy new self-driving cars. Oh, yeah, Dad, back in your day, you had to drive your car everywhere. Oh.
I know. And hashtag don't trust it. Hashtag it's a trap. Much as I love Tesla, Elon Musk is up to something. I'm just letting y'all know.
Sound like an old person, though, Hellfire.
Yeah, I'm crotchety, but I was born crotchety, so it's fine. Yeah, I felt like Jughead was a little mishandled, though. Not gonna lie, and it's like why Reggie couldn't really show up. I don't know.
I thought I saw was that Reggie who knocked all the food over? That one scene with like the bat or whatever.
Yeah, but the story overall, though, he just really wasn't present. I guess, like I said, they had to kind of focus on Kevin for all of that, and fair trade out, I guess.
I mean, again, I don't have that much experience, but it just seems like every scene with Jughead, he was either making food or eating food.
Jughead is like the combined version of Scooby and Shaggy.
Yeah.
Like he loves food more than he loves anything else, and I can relate. I can totally relate.
But it just seems like they gave him no pathos. It's just like everyone else got something, but just like every scene, it's just like Jughead. Oh, that's horrible. Yeah.
Well, to be fair, that's Jughead. It is.
I guess we all know someone in our lives like that. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So, gobble gobble. I'm gonna murder you on your birthday, Philip. You know this, right? You're just tempting the fate.
Complete the circle. Die on my birthday.
But overall, I really enjoyed the storyline. I think you should read just the Life with Archie overall. It's only like I said, it's only like 38 issues.
7 issues.
Yeah, so it's not that bad, and it's like if you are curious about what the new Archie would be like, I think this is very representative of the themes and things that they touch on. And it's not like a huge investment, because I forget what number the regular Archie is on right now, but I know it's like over like 200 or something like that. Something crazy like that. So, yeah. But I think that this is a good sneak peek to see if you really want to invest the time with those characters and the writers and stuff. So, overall, it's a solid B+ for me.
Yeah, I'd probably give it a B. It didn't turn me off. I mean, if I had, I'd probably read more. Well, again, like I said, if it's not superheroes, I don't know. But, for something non-superhero, I mean, I'd read it again. Kill some time.
I really like the offbeat stuff that Archie does, too. Like, I think Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, that comic book, was absolutely genius. I loved how it turned Sabrina on her head. I think Netflix did an absolute genius job of developing that and, like, really translating what that particular version of Sabrina is all about. And if only they could do that for Riverdale. Maybe Riverdale needs to be on Netflix. I don't know. Maybe that, at the end of the day, maybe that's what it is.
It just intrigues me, the cynical Lilith Hellfire likes, like we said, goody two-shoes.
Slice of life. I know. Such a slice of life goody two-shoes book. But, like, the reboot isn't quite like that. It still deals with, like, teen issues and stuff. But it's still kind of lighthearted, but it still does deal with some very topical things in a unexpected, non-Archie way. So I don't know. I definitely like old school Archie a lot better. Like, give me groovy ghoulies any day. Give me old school Sabrina, stuff like that. Give me, Josie and the Pussycats. But the new stuff's not that bad. It's not. I can appreciate it because it's updated for the modern, teen. And everybody needs to see themselves in some kind of literary character. You know what I mean? I think it's cathartic.
So you want to be a goody two-shoes teenager?
No, never. Been there, done that. It's boring. Live your life.
What were you?
Don't wait till college. Live your life, kids. That's the moral of the story.
It's like you and Charlie Esser. You like those teen stories.
My big thing.
Well, no, and like that's the funny thing. It's like I read enough like Death and Destruction, like Spawn and Batman, and like honestly, I was just on Facebook before we got to podcasting, and it's like who's more relatable, Batman or Superman? And all day, every day, no matter what, Superman is more relatable. At the end of the day, Bruce Wayne is a billionaire. He makes selfish choices. Clark Kent was raised on a farm in the Midwest. He's got good manners. The whole thing. He cares about people. And he just wants to do the right thing.
Tyler, is that you?
Superman, he might be generic to some, but like if you actually take the time to read some of those Superman stories, they're deep and they're profound and super relatable.
Oh, speaking of teen stories, I finally watched those 2 Crisis Aftermath episodes with Kevin Smith last night.
How much crying did he do?
Oh, you didn't watch him yet? Oh, no.
No, I'm not watching that.
Well, no, he really didn't cry. No, he was just hamming it up. But no, they showed like the trailer for Stargirl. I just wondered your thoughts on it.
I mean, was it a different trailer than the one we've already seen? There's like 2 different trailers for Stargirl, so...
I don't know, because I didn't watch it before I watched this, so yeah, I don't know.
I doubt they give it a new trailer so close to supposed spring release. They're going to be hammering that whatever trailer they release out over and over again until that time. No, I'm not excited for Stargirl, to be honest.
Oh, no?
Nah. It's, I don't know. I mean, like, unless they're actually just like a backdoor to JSA, which I doubt. Because they've given the back doors to the Justice League and Titans too, so it's just like you gotta poop or get off the pot, DC. My money ain't endless. Okay.
I mean, they mentioned Starman in it, so I don't know.
Yeah, I think they're definitely gonna have a flashback episode of him passing the mantle. They almost have to, because she's very obscure, if we're gonna be honest. And for the people that do know, they expect to see that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least if they do CW drama, there will be an excuse because she is a teenage girl.
You mean, like, I think because they robbed us of that on Supergirl, they're going to give it to us on Stargirl. Do you know what I mean? Like,
what?
Let's be honest. We should have met Kara when she was a teenager because she's Supergirl. Like, let's just be honest. We got robbed of that, and they started thinking, like, maybe we should have a female teenage superhero. Maybe we should. And that's probably how Stargirl came about. And I was like, meanwhile, you got Donna Troy, and we could have just done Wonder Girl. But, nobody called Lilith to make it okay to fix it. It's fine. Hashtag still better.
Well, plus they got Titans going on right now.
We could totally. Well, I'm not that crazy about the. Yeah. Well, I've been waiting on Amazon to have a pilot forever, which was the Wonder Woman story. So yeah, I have a lot of feelings about how they treat certain properties, but neither here nor there. At least Riverdale, the kids that like it, they like it. They're diehard fans, and they actually do read the comic books, and they make really interesting comparisons and analyses on on Tumblr. I will give that to the fandom. I really do enjoy the Riverdale fandom. Like, they know that it's like weird and wacky, and they embrace it. But they also like really dig like old school Archie and the reboot Archie. So I love that fandom. Just the show I just can't get into. Like, I try to binge it, and it's just like it's like now that Luke Perry's dead, it's just like oh my god. But the guy that plays Deathstroke is actually Veronica Lodge's dad in Riverdale.
Oh.
Yep. So I found that pretty interesting, I guess. I was like, because Greg Berlanti actually is the executive producer of Riverdale 2.
Oh.
Yeah. Little fun facts. Hashtag it's all connected.
It's super connected.
Wait, wrong show.
Ah.
Wrong show. But I will be on that show this week.
Oh, yes. Stay tuned for Super Connectivity 269.
But yeah, on that note, we can get out of here.
Oh, okay.
On that note,
Yes, so send your thoughts. Should I read more Archie? What should I read? Is Lilith correct in her analysis? Email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com. Call the voicemail, 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember to check out our social media and all the Capes and Lunatics social media at Linktree. That's linktr.ee/Capes and Lunatics. And support our sponsors, Tweaked Audio, Hunt a Killer, Pod Life the book, where you can find me talking about Lilith and the others behind their backs. Great for if you're interested in podcasting, getting into it, if you're just interested in listening to podcasts, or like I said, just creative people in general. So yes, pick it up digital, pick up the paperback, and yeah, go to Amazon, pick it up in print. And while you're there, make sure you get there by using the Southgate Media Group link. It's in the show notes. Doesn't affect you at all, but it sends money to Rob Southgate himself, Master Doom, because unbelievably, these do cost money to put up. This chaos. All right. Miss Betty, Miss Veronica, Miss Little Hellfire, where can people get a hold of you, you eternal teenager?
If y'all agree with me that Archie belongs with Cheryl, hashtag gingers belong together. On Twitter, at Lil Hellfire. On Instagram, at Lil Hellfire69. Hello, Megan. Duh. There we go.
So, thank you for joining us for into my foray into Archie. Come back next time. Now I get to make Lilith Hellfire read Mark Spector Moon Knight issues 1 through 3. And who knows? We could have a special guest, or we might.
He doesn't want his heart broken. He's not gonna join for me to just like, Batman gets this better.
Might get feedback from Australia, so stay tuned.